using maximum force to stop the motion right at your abdomen. The difference in ball quality between a relaxed follow-through and a sharp, tense stop is night and day. Alright, let's talk about the serve. Can you serve a heavy side underspin? Your side underspin lacks spin because you have too much side spin and not enough underspin. Comparing my two serves, you'll see the second one has significantly more spin. To generate heavy spin, you must brush the bottom of the ball more. When I make contact, this is the part of the ball I'm brushing. My racket angle is flatter, not vertical. After brushing, my forearm follows through with a forward push. With a vertical racket angle, you're only chopping the side, which reduces the amount of friction you can generate. The serve with the most potential for spin is the underspin serve. So the key to a spinny serve is to brush the bottom, or just off the bottom, of the ball. For a heavy side underspin, your racket must be slightly angled. A vertical racket is too difficult for amateur players. Professional players can do it because we have explosive power in our wrist at the moment of contact. You must change from pushing with a vertical racket to brushing with a flatter racket angle. Second point, pay close attention to my racket angle. Amateur players tend to just push the ball forward. But professionals rotate the racket head. For any technique that requires friction, you must rotate the racket head to generate spin. The key is racket head rotation, whereas many players just push with a fixed angle. This is also why your hook serve lacks spin. You're pushing down instead of chopping with the racket head. A chopping motion will always be spinnier. It's the same principle as a loop. A pushing motion slows down your contact speed. The problem is a lack of wrist flexibility. Your arm and wrist move as one unit, like a stick, instead of creating a nunchuck effect. Only this whip-like action allows you to properly brush the ball and impart spin. You must get the racket head rotating. The faster your racket rotates at contact, the heavier the spin will be. So, why is my rotation speed faster than yours? It's because I keep my elbow fixed. A stable elbow allows for fast rotation. If your whole arm moves, the rotation slows down. Keep your elbow and upper arm still and accelerate only with your wrist. This applies to the hook serve too. A full arm push is slow. A fixed elbow allows for the fastest chopping motion. Therefore, your elbow must act as a pivot point to maximize racket head speed. During the serve, fix your arm and use your fingers to drive the wrist into a fast rotation. This is true for penhold grips as well. What's the real reason so many serves lack spin? Let's use an analogy. Listen to the friction of my shoe. The second sound has more friction. What's the difference? The difference is the braking action and the compact motion. So, there are three secrets to creating maximum friction: a compact motion, fast acceleration, and an abrupt stop. First, a compact motion. Remember, pure friction alone isn't enough to get the ball over the net. Amateurs use overly large motions, which diffuses power. The brushing action itself should be very small. Your arm provides the forward momentum. Second, acceleration. The problem is trying to generate power with your entire arm at once. You need to sequence the power from fingers to wrist to forearm. Using them all at once kills your spin. Friction is generated primarily by your fingers. To maximize racket head speed, you must use your fingers. Keep the motion compact, power it with your fingers, and relax the rest of your arm. How do you use your fingers? Imagine pinching someone. Use that same sharp, squeezing force to brush the ball. The third secret is the braking action. You must stop your motion abruptly to maximize friction. This braking means actively stopping your follow-through at a specific point after contact, whether it's a side underspin, side topspin, or hook serve. Do you use power at this stopping point? Yes, you use your maximum force to come to a dead stop. It's like the drill where you chop your stomach, using maximum force to stop the motion right at your abdomen. The difference in ball quality between a relaxed follow-through and a sharp, tense stop is night and day. A compact motion, fast acceleration, and a powerful stop. These 3 points are the most critical. Next, let's fix common serving errors: hitting the net, serving long, hitting the edge, and missing the ball completely. First, whiffing the serve. The number one reason is not keeping your eye on the ball. If your hand racket timing is off after the toss, you'll miss. A second reason is the ball dropping too fast for your swing speed. This often happens when you throw the ball up forcefully, as it accelerates its descent. You should toss the ball a bit higher to sync your timing. And remember, don't throw it, a forceful toss makes the ball drop faster. Make sure to toss the ball slowly. So, 2 reasons for whiffing: not watching the ball, and your toss being too fast for your swing. The second error, hitting the edge of the table, is usually caused by standing too far back. Stand closer, and you eliminate the angle that causes this. Serving into the net or long is almost always a problem with controlling the first bounce. For a good long serve, the bounce is here. A netted bounce is here. And a long bounce is here. You hit the net because your first bounce is too far forward, and the ball doesn't have enough height to clear it. It's the same for short serves. If the first bounce is too far forward, it will go into the net. Simply put, you're pushing forward too much and losing control of that first bounce. Serving long usually happens for 2 reasons. First, you're hitting down on the ball. This smashing motion creates too steep an angle and sends it long. The second reason, your first bounce is too close to the net. Look, if the first bounce is right on the baseline, the serve stays in. But if I shift that first bounce closer to the half-long zone, the ball will fly off the end of the table using the same power. Essentially, the distance the ball overshoots the table corresponds to how far forward your first bounce was. In a match, you get tense and your hand stiffens. In practice, the same motion lands the serve on the baseline. But when you're tense, that same motion sends it long because nerves make your hand and racket feel more bouncy. So, how do we prevent these mistakes? To avoid whiffing the ball, keep your eye on it. Synchronize your toss with your racket hand. As the ball goes up, your racket goes up. As it comes down, your racket comes down. Stand close to the table. This eliminates the angle for the ball to hit the side edge. Third, be strict with your first bounce. Place a target on the table, like your phone. For long serves, make the first bounce land in a specific zone. For short serves, land it in a different zone. Be precise. You must be disciplined about that first bounce. In a match, if you miss one serve, your quality drops. Miss 2, and your spin will decrease by 50% or more out of fear. Miss a few more, and your serve becomes completely soft. Your arm will be too tentative to accelerate, and you'll struggle to even get the ball on the table. So, be strict with your first bounce. Put down a target and aim for it. Long serves always land here. Short serves always land there. Set this as your goal. Once you develop the proper feel for it, you won't need the target. You'll be able to hit that spot effortlessly. Otherwise, you'll practice well, but in a match, your spin will be cut in half. After a couple of faults, your spin and placement will disappear, and you'll just be trying to safely get the ball in. All your hard practice will be wasted.